Greetings, everyone. Welcome, welcome. How is everybody doing this Friday evening? This is your friendly neighborhood CHOQTOR, Dr. Matt Dorsey, Doctor of Acupuncture and Chinese Medicine, CHOQ supplement formulator, etc., etc. Looks like we got one or two people here. Give me a shout in the chat so I can see who's here. I'm sure it's some of our regulars. What are we going to talk about today? I wonder. Well, I see the video already has 2 likes. That's always nice to see. Yep. How are you guys feeling? How's your Friday? Maybe I didn't promote this one enough, or maybe people just are doing fun stuff on Friday. Who knows? We shall see. We shall see. Let's see who tunes in. Who is here? Yeah, I got an exciting announcement. Hello, Phyllis. How you doing? Exciting announcement for you guys. Things are going very well with Apex Glutathione, and we still don't have an exact day, but it's going to be pretty darn soon here. Apex will be coming back, and it will be part of 3 different stacks. That's right. We're going to have 2 different immune stacks, and we're going to have a mega stack. The CHOQ mega stack is literally every single CHOQ supplement except for daily, except daily is only for men. So we're going to have the mega stack. For those of y'all who remember way back in the day, we had the CHOQ, the mega bundle, one we called them bundles. Of course, now we call them stack with a Q. But yeah, so the CHOQ mega stack is doesn't include cacao beans, but it does have every supplement except for daily. So every supplement that can be taken by men and women is in the mega stack, including the new Apex Glutathione, which I am very, very stoked about. I did a training for the CHOQ team on the new Apex just yesterday, and I got to go through the ingredient changes, and I really think that the new version of Apex is going to be even better than the old one. It should be better for healthy mood and focus support because I put the ginkgo in there. I also put extra B6 in there as well. B6 is really awesome for neurotransmitter production cofactor. So very excited about that. So what's up, Yaneska, Babinski, Phyllis? How you guys doing? Source God, interesting. I'm not sure if I've seen that name before, but perhaps you're a regular and you've changed your name, or I just haven't noticed it. But welcome, Source God, as well. Welcome, everybody. If you guys are on Instagram, you're going to start seeing quite a bit more of us on there. Give you a little preview. So we've got a really awesome video editor who's going to be taking a bunch of our content and splitting it into small clips. And here, I'll just play a part of one of these small clips for you. You're going to see on Instagram, you're going to see a lot more of these, as well as on YouTube.
This is how game theory and warfare works. This is the mentality is, if we don't do this, if we don't create this particular kind of very advanced weapon, then the other guys might. So we have to. And literally, they're all thinking that. Game theory. If the question is, your opponent has the means, just like you do, to develop this particular kind of weapon based on, say, for example, using certain kinds of neural lace type technologies to influence your enemy. If your enemy has the means to that, then they probably will. And that means that you have to as well, because you can never know 100% whether your enemy is doing this.
So yeah, that's a clip from Stay Human episode 1, as a lot of you guys probably know. And of course, I am wearing my human shirt today to remind myself and everyone else that Stay Human episode 2 is coming out a week from right now. Well, technically a week from an hour ago, but yeah, 5:00 p.m. Central Time next Friday, a week from today. So be sure to show up for that. That's going to be a fun one. Yaneska said, I saw Stay Human today. Oh, that's awesome. Fantastic. Good for you. Good for you guys. I am extra lively today. I got some sun for the first time in God knows how long. There's been too many days, like really cloudy, overcast days here in Austin, and today it was beautiful outside. I actually chilled by the pool in my apartment complex and got some sun, and I am feeling good to go. My voice is totally back. Had some sort of minor pathogen for like 2 or 3 days, and I of course knocked it out very quickly and pretty much back to normal. But my voice was a little bit raspy there. as y'all might recall from a couple days ago. That's why I took yesterday off, actually. I just needed to rest a bit. But nice thing about knowing how to use supplements is you can bounce back from things very quickly when you support your system. What's up, Hunter? How's it going? Well, what have you guys got for me? You got any questions? How's everybody feeling? Any interesting pieces of news? Any questions about CHOQ products? I could keep rambling on about the new CHOQ stacks. For those of y'all who don't know, those are going to be dropping in the next couple weeks. We already have 4 stacks on there, 2 men's, 2 women's, but we're going to have a CHOQ mega stack and 2 different immune stacks that I'm calling Immunichi. Because obviously I'm a Chinese medicine person, so I like the word chi. So Immunichi. The standard Immunichi stack is going to be Armor, Apex, and 7 Wonders. And the Immunichi Ultra stack will be 2 bottles of Armor, 2 bottles of Apex, and 2 bottles of 7 Wonders. So basically a 2X stack, because all of those supplements you can take. Sorry, my shoulders are always tight. All those supplements you can take double doses of. So essentially the Immunichi Ultra will just be 2 bottles of each of those per month. And it will enable you to take a double dose. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Source God says, what's your opinion about the best way for muscle building but have a high vibrational diet? So Source God, it sounds like you might be referring to, you might be alluding to the fact that a lot of people are under the mistaken impression that you have to eat meat to build muscle. And that is absolutely not the case. I don't know if that's what you're implying or not, because sometimes when people say high vibrational, they're talking about vegan or whatever. I also don't think that, you have to be vegan to be spiritual or anything like that. But what I will say is regarding muscle building, there's a general tendency for too many people to get too obsessed with protein. I think that protein is the only important thing. Yes, you do need protein. Most of us get plenty of protein. Unless you're trying to be an actual professional bodybuilder, you don't need to worry about how much protein you're getting at all. You really don't. You just absolutely do not. It's not a thing. You also need other nutrients to build muscles too. In fact, carbohydrates, I say as I'm drinking carrot juice here, lots of great carbohydrates in here. You need carbohydrates to build muscle. In fact, insulin, as I talked about in my in my Dark Side of Keto episode, insulin, which is secreted, in order to get glucose into the cells so it can be converted to energy. Insulin has many different functions, and it is the single most anabolic hormone in the body. So when you're actually doing a low-carb diet, you're at a huge disadvantage in terms of muscle building. Having adequate carbohydrate intake increases the absorption and utilization of protein, and it actually increases muscle synthesis. So carbohydrates are highly anabolic as well. In fact, there is evidence showing that people on low-carb diets actually tend to lose more muscle. Low-carb equals losing more muscle, because you need carbs for muscle. I will tell you that I was vegan for almost 2 years and I didn't lose any muscle at all. In fact, I was quite muscular. But yeah, you don't have to be vegan. Vegan can be great if it's done well. But yeah, high vibrational diet to me, Source God, that's a good question. It's sort of a blanket term. Like, what does that mean? But to me, that means that you're getting at least a high proportion of foods that are in their natural intact state. You're eating at least a fairly decent amount of raw fruits and vegetables that are organic, that have not been modified, that are in their original form, that still have source energy, chi, orgone, prana in them intact. Not that it has to be 100% that, but that's a big part of it to me. Yeah. How do I determine how much Tomcat 100 to take? Labels doesn't take 1 to 4. That's why I asked. Mr. Babinski, good question. So, what I would say to that is, it depends. If you are younger and you don't need as much support with, testosterone, then 100 milligrams may be all you need, But if you're looking to hit it harder, especially for maybe older men or men who just desire higher testosterone support, greater testosterone support, you could go 200, 300, 400. It really just depends. The reason we give you a range is also because the research that ingredient now has 20 clinical studies behind it, LJ100, 20 clinical studies, and that is the actual dose range. So CHOQ uses evidence-based dosing with respect to, the trademarked ingredients that we use that have specific research behind them. So that is the actual dose range on the research. So yeah, so age is a factor for a 50-year-old, 60-year-old man, somewhere between 300 and 400 might be a really good dose. For a 20-year-old man, then you might want to go closer to 100, maybe 200 max, depends. But also depends on a lot of other factors too. How many other supplements are you taking that also are having synergistic effects? If you're also taking ashwagandha, if you're also taking daily, you might not need to take any more than maybe 1 cap of Tonkat. But if Tonkat's the only major thing you're taking that has effects on testosterone, then you might want to take maybe a little bit more. So it really just depends on the total context of what you're taking, your age, how much you need, all that. Hello, Chuck Lalan. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Let's see. JJ is asking about using capsules instead of pressing. Yeah, capsules are generally a better way to go. They're generally easier. Pressing is kind of messy. Capsules is kind of the industry standard for sure. Let's see. Why ask why there is maltodextrin in some of CHOQ's products? Yeah, so there are certain ingredients, certain really, really high quality trademarked ingredients that we use that have great research behind them that do use small amounts of like certain kinds of, binders or flow agents, things like that in them. And so the quantity of something like a maltodextrin, by the way, maltodextrin, like it gets kind of demonized. It's really just like a carb, basically. It's a sugar, essentially. It's a carbohydrate, but in a very, very small amount like that, I particularly do not think it's a big deal at all. But there are certain ingredients that, because larger manufacturers who make some of the really stuff to the highest standards will use small amounts of things like silicon dioxide and maltodextrin. I personally don't think it's a big deal. And I take it and I recommend it to people. But, if you're like an ultra purist, then, there is that. But I personally don't think it's a big deal. But yeah. Let's see here. All right. Chocolate, that's great. That's great. I'm glad you're I'm glad everything's helping. Stopping eating eggs and dairy is a really big deal. So, and that's a big one. Chalk Gamer says, stay human. Yes. Here we go, guys. Don't forget, 1 week from today. That's right. We're going to be staying human together. Mr. R says, of all the CHOQ products, Tonka has been the best for me for immunity. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah. So, Andreas, to answer your question, this just says in Japanese, I am human. My friend used Google Translate to translate it. Yeah. My friend who grew up in Japan. He was like, it probably says stay human. Let's see here. Probably says I'm human. And it did. Let's see. I think I have bad muscle pain when I eat eggs. Is that normal? Mr. Binsky, yes. I will tell you that, one thing that I like to kind of Johnny Appleseed around, not enough people realize what a big deal eggs are in terms of feeding chronic inflammation. They can be really problematic. We got a lot of people in the paleo world talking about how eggs are the perfect food. And when you look at eggs on paper, they don't seem too bad. Again, I always say, we got to give them their due. They do have DHA and folate and choline and lutein and protein and blah, blah, blah. So eggs do have some good nutrients in them, but from a, immune system and inflammation standpoint, they are very, very not ideal. And I'll tell you, as somebody who, has clients that I help with their health on a regular basis, getting eggs out can make a huge, huge difference in your health. The sooner you get eggs out of your diet, the healthier you are for many people. But if you're somebody who is just in totally good health, you don't have any kind of challenges, probably maybe it doesn't matter, but if you are struggling in certain areas and you have certain imbalances and you're looking to optimize your health, then getting eggs out is absolutely essential. Yeah, they certainly can feed the inflammatory pathways very strongly. All right, let's see here. Would you stop taking kelp or taking Irish moss, JJ? No, it's totally up to you. There's no reason why you can't do both. Yeah, whatever you want to do. There's lots of different kinds of sea vegetables, and they're not all exactly the same. They have different properties, Yeah. Phyllis says, will you be making any liquid supplements? Phyllis, that would not surprise me if we did in the future at all. I would love to do some alcohol-free tinctures. I don't like alcohol tinctures. They feel kind of weird in your mouth. I also am told that sometimes alcohol will sometimes neutralize some of the positive effects of herbs. So if we did, though, I would love to do some high quality, like organic glycerin tinctures would be fantastic. Yeah. Let's see. What about eating chicken? Chocolala says, what about eating chicken? Certainly not the worst thing in the world you could eat. I'd say just make sure it's real quality, but yeah, chicken, meat is not as bad in terms of feeding inflammation as the gluten and dairy and eggs. Those are the ones that you really have to watch out for. Obviously, you don't want to eat an excessive amount of meat. It's good to not eat too much meat. I think most people should not eat meat more than once a day as an absolute maximum. Any more than that is kind of excessive, I think. In America, we eat 2 to 3 times as much meat as the rest of the world. We eat way more than a lot of the rest of the world. That's probably changing, but that's been the case. So yeah, we really overdo the meat here. We were brainwashed a long time ago. Dr. Zach Bush goes into this. We were brainwashed a long time ago by the meat industry, right around the World War II era, that meat and had lots of protein, and that muscles are made of protein, and that in order to grow big and strong and be strong, you eat tons of meat. But the average American, look at the average American. The average American eats huge amounts of protein, huge amounts of meat. And how fit and how muscular is the average American, right? So if that were enough, then, no. So last thing we need to be doing is focusing more on meat and eating more of it. We need to be eating less of it. Not that you have to be vegan to be healthy. You can certainly eat meat. It's just a question of how much. So it's going to be acutely aware of what is an excessive amount of meat, and having it all day long, very, very, very bad idea. Let's see here. Have you any experience with Jagulan? Mr. Babinski, Jagulan is an ingredient in Apex glutathione, and Jagulan is one of my favorite of all adaptogens. So, and I'm glad you brought it up, actually. So if you ask me what are my top 5 favorite herbs, Jagulan would be on that list. It's fantastic. It's also called Gynostemma pentaphyllum, is the genus species Latin name, but Jagulan in Chinese. And it is considered a qi tonic. So it's in the same category as like a ginseng or an astragalus in Chinese medicine. It's an adaptogen. It also has great benefits for mood, focus, immune system, and it increases glutathione production. So guess what? One of the changes that I made to Apex glutathione is I doubled the amount of Jagulan in it. That's right. Apex glutathione now has 200 milligrams of Jagulan instead of 100. So definitely, and a lot of people use Jagulan just for the brain effects, just for the nootropic effects. So you guys are definitely going to dig it. The new Apex, if I have done what I'm intended to do, should be better for brain stuff. So it's going to be almost like a nootropic. Since CHOQ doesn't have a full-on nootropic yet, and we will in the future, but yeah, that's one of the ones to do for sure. All right. Would I need to take any vitamin C if I take the Armor and NAC? Rafetol, vitamin C is completely different from Armor and NAC. So yes, absolutely. You still want to take vitamin C, and they're highly synergistic. So those are not a replacement for vitamin C. All right. Let's see. Lowering, cutting out meat, dairy, and eggs have a negative effect on testosterone. No, not at all. Quite the opposite. If anything, testosterone would probably go up. There is people, we have been brainwashed to think that in order to be like manly, you have to actually like eat lots of animal protein. So source God, that is part of the completely unscientific, weird brainwashing, like just cultural stuff that we have. If you look at research, there's no indication that vegan men have lower testosterone levels. That is just part of this mythology. In fact, this is fascinating. There's a guy named Sean Baker, MD, and I actually have talked about him before. I talked about him in the Dark Side of Keto video. And I also have talked about him in a blog I did called The Many Faces of Testosterone. Sean Baker is an MD. He's a physician. He's a huge muscle, like, bodybuilder kind of guy. He's like super jacked and ripped. And he's actually a carnivore. He only eats meat. This dude's probably going to die of scurvy one day. He literally doesn't eat any plants at all. He eats nothing but meat all day long, right? And he certainly seems to be in, fine health or whatever. He works out a lot, whatever. He also didn't have any chronic diseases when he started, So anyway, but he actually did some blood work a while back, and he was honest enough to post it, and his testosterone levels were extremely low. And this is a guy who just eats nothing but meat. Really interesting. He made up some kind of hokum about how it probably was because he has more testosterone receptors. And that's the thing that we doctor type folks can do, is that we know so much about how the body works. We can just kind of make crap up sometimes, but you have to watch out for that. I try not to do that, because I know that that's something that physicians are susceptible to, and other doctor type folks, like alternative doctors like myself, are also susceptible to. So, but yeah, no, lowering, cutting out meat, dairy, and eggs will not have a negative effect on testosterone. If anything, it'll probably go up. So it would either be neutral or go up. It would not go down as a result of that. I can guarantee that. Babinski says Jagulan tea makes you feel great. Yeah, Jagulan tea is awesome. Jagulan is just a really, really cool herb. I highly recommend it. And yes, get Apex Glutathione, the new one, the new 2.0 version, because it has double the dose of Jagulan. Yeah. I raise my own meat birds, something. Cornish are weird birds, Shimo. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, you want to make sure that whatever kind of poultry you're eating is not being fed GMO feed. And just know also, guys, when it comes to pesticide exposure, the food that the animals eat and how much pesticide material was in the food the animals ate is a direct reflection of what's in those animals. So you can get a huge dose of pesticides by eating meat. And in fact, you can get higher amounts of pesticides from eating meat than you can from eating vegetables and fruits. So yeah, they do hyperaccumulate in animal tissues. The same way that, for example, you tend to get in certain kinds of fish, right? Like you get huge accumulations of heavy metals. You can get way more heavy metal from tuna than you can from probably or mercury from tuna than you can from like probably any plant, because the animals will hyperaccumulate. And of course, they live for longer, so more time to accumulate. But yeah, let's see. What do you recommend for fast muscle recovery after an intense workout? Excellent question, Rafael. CHOQ Armor is a great post-workout recovery. Definitely recommend it for that. So after you get home, pop a couple of CHOQ Armor. Great for healthy inflammation response because of the quercetin in there, as well as the andrographis. I said the Chinese. And then also another great one is turmeric. Of course, at some point we're going to have a CHOQ turmeric. That's definitely going to happen. Don't know when, but I already have one in mind that I'd like to do for our CHOQ turmeric. So yeah. Let's see. Happy Friday to you, Andy, as well. And Chocolate says, I always feel organic. That's great. That's great. Yeah, make sure if you're raising any kind of chickens or anything, definitely want to make sure that they are organic. Super duper important. So I think it's time for me to bust out the random number generator here, guys. Let's see what we got. Let's give away the first prize. Prize number one, because it's Friday, is going to be 2 of any CHOQ product and a bag of cacao beans. And the timer has begun. You have 51 seconds to get your 2-digit number in. And remember, folks, that is one entry only. Anything you do after their first entry will be disqualified. Now let's see what we got here. Generate ourselves a random number here. So 2 of any CHOQ product plus 1 bag of cacao beans. And by the way, just FYI, for those of y'all who weren't here the other day, we are going to be only giving away prizes once a week from now on. I will randomly pick which day it is, I believe, though. But yes, that will be randomly selected. Okay, let's see. All right, we are now done. And the number was 39. So let's see here. Who was close to 39? Taiba is 4 away. Oh, wait, Tanner has 40. Tanner, I think Tanner is the winner, right? Yes, Tanner, you are the winner. Congratulations, Tanner. 2 of any product plus 1 bag of cacao. All right, Tanner. Prize 1 winner is Tanner. All right, Tanner, excellent job. 2 of any CHOQ product plus a bag of cacao beans. Email CHOQ@CHOQ.com and let them know that you are the winner. Yes. And we'll do the same thing here in just a little bit, guys. Yeah. But yeah, congratulations. That's awesome. All right. All right. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Snap, crackle, pop. Indeed. I like it. But yeah, once again, everybody, that's we do have for those of y'all, who didn't hear, we do have Stay Human episode 2 coming up. Let me see if I can find it for you so I can send you a link. Stay Human episode 2, CHOQ, bam. And it is called Between Two Worlds. So go ahead and click on that video, maybe give it a like, and possibly even tell it to remind you. But that's going to be next Friday, January 21st at 5 o'clock Central. I'll be going for 90 minutes to 2 hours. We'll have Q&A. It'll be really interesting. By the way, everybody, I did want to say as well that if you have not hit the like button, I do see there are 13. Well, there was 15 people watching and only 6 likes so far. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please go ahead and hit that like button. We would really appreciate it. Every single one of those does help, and it's no effort on your part. So if you are watching right now and you are enjoying this content, please go ahead and hit the like button. That would be excellent. And if you like, feel free to also subscribe to our channel if you have not done that yet. You guys are going to see quite a bit of action from CHOQ in 2022 in terms of social media. We're doing all sorts of awesome videos. We're doing a lot of little shorts actually here on Instagram, etc. So here's a cool example. We've got some stuff like things like this.
You are
not popping up on Instagram.
You are a living organism with purpose and feeling and irrational fuzzy. You are autopoietic, meaning that you renew and regenerate yourself. You are sovereign in your subjectivity, an ecosystem unto yourself who's dynamically, intrinsically interconnected with the universal macrocosm of life and mind. Who and what you are can never be reduced to the collisions of subatomic particles and the forces that govern them, because at scale, you transcend the boundaries and knowledge of physics as we know it. But why do we even need to be reminded of all this in the first place? It's a sign of the times. Why does it feel good to be reminded that we're human?
Why does it feel good to be reminded that we're human? Yeah, well, things are getting real weird, right? Everybody's obsessed with technology. I love technology too. I love this thing. Good old iPad. Love the computer, love the iPhone, but you know what? It is the modern dilemma. This stuff is powerful and it's amazing and it allows me to transmit information to you guys, but at the same time, too much of it is toxic. It is not good. So just, how do we remain ourselves? How do we stay human? And how do we remain above the fray of all the chaos that we see in the world? Obviously adaptogens are part of that. Clearly, one of the reasons that CHOQ is pretty dang successful for only being a couple-year-old company is because we put out adaptogens, a lot of adaptogens. People need adaptogens right now more so than ever, because one of the things that they do is they help you adapt to stressful times. Hold on, I'm going to actually get some more carrot juice. 1 second, guys. I just, this stuff is really amazing. Speaking of healthy carbohydrates, I don't know who else drinks carrot juice. This is 100% pure organic carrot juice. This stuff is awesome. Oh, wait, this one's not organic? Dang, it's not organic. Well, next time. Guess I forgot to look at the label, but at least it's 100% juice. Yeah. And no, I'm not worried about this spiking my blood sugar. Let's see what else happened here. I'm Chris Brown, and the like button is real. Oh my God, that's a crazy joke. Source God says, I love all the information and studies and blogs on CHOQ website. Awesome, Source God. Yeah, actually, since you were asking about testosterone earlier, let me post a blog real quick in the chat for you. Let's see here. One second. I'm just going to find this one that's really great. All right, CHOQ blog. Let's see. One moment. I'll pull this up real quick. It's called The Many Faces of Testosterone. This one's great. So, Source God, if you are interested in learning more about testosterone, this is a really good one. I do talk about Sean Baker and how excessive amounts of meat reduced his what's that about? Oh, looks like we we might have a Russian spam bot in here, guys. We're gonna have to go ahead and report that. Unwanted commercial content or spam. Let's just report that right now. There we go. Okay. Yeah. None of that here. No Russian spam bots here. All right. And let's see what else we got. We've got another one you might like is this one's really cool. Hormones Under Fire, Worse Living Through Chemistry. This is great. Not that I have anything against Russians. Russian people are awesome. Russia's a really cool country. Obviously, not a big fan of communism, clearly. But, they're not communists anymore. Fortunately for Russia, they are no longer under the USSR. Let's see what else we got here. Do any other cool questions in here? What do we got? Andrea says the Daily and Tomcat products are so good in my system. Very cool, very cool. Oh, speaking of Tomcat, since we're promoting blogs right now, let me go ahead and actually let's see here. Let me just find this other one. I do have one on Tomcat and testosterone. Let's find that real quick here. Here we go. Tomcat Ali's effects on hormones and immunity. And Mr. R, you were talking earlier about Tomcat and the immune system. Mr. R, if you haven't read this particular blog, the one that I just posted, you might really enjoy this. I do go into some of the research on how Tomcat can support the immune system. So yeah, just something to know about. Yeah. Something to know about. And yeah, I'm glad Irish Moss is helping your friend's skin glow. That's awesome. I've heard that, has anybody ever drunk enough of this stuff, enough carrot juice to make your skin orange? I've heard that can happen. It's kind of hilarious. Oh, by the way, I just realized, guys, I think I am going to change Stay Human to start 1 hour earlier. Just FYI. Because I actually prefer to talk when it's not dark out, when I have some natural light coming in. It's a little bit more energizing for me. So I'm going to start Stay Human at 4 p.m. Central Time instead of 5 p.m. Central Time because it is the winter. And I prefer to, it's just a little easier for me to talk, and I'm a little bit more hyped up overall. I've noticed when there's still some natural light coming in through the window over here. So obviously you guys can't see this, but I have a big window right here, and I have a big window right here behind my computer and the camera. And so definitely it is advantageous for me to have that natural light. It sometimes just looks a little bit better too, although I do have a nice, semi-professional light up here, but my lighting is not as dialed in as it could be. But yeah, I think that's going to be a thing. So just FYI, we'll probably go ahead and, I'm just going to do it right now. I'm going to change it officially. I'm going to change it to 4 p.m. And I didn't realize this when I first scheduled it, but I think it is kind of important to have that natural light in there. It also makes for a higher quality video. And since this is a bigger video, I think we're going to start a little bit earlier. So yeah, right around there is when we're going to start, I believe. That should be the time. And then it'll only be getting dark toward the end. So yeah. But yeah, Stay Human episode 2 will be really fun. I'm going to spend tons and tons of time next week preparing for it. And yeah, you said, okay, so Andrea says, my friend turned orange from eating a lot of carrots. Isn't it funny? Yeah. But yeah, orange actually is one of my favorite colors. And I really love carrot juice and I really love oranges. So yeah. And if I had to pick one color, I would say my favorite color probably is orange, actually. I do really like orange. So maybe it's some sort of which chakra is orange? I forgot. You guys tell me. Chakra orange. Which one's orange again? Oh, sacral. Okay, cool. So it's a sacral chakra thing. There we go. All right, good times. Also speaking of chalk blogs too, I am going to be making a new one pretty soon here. I'm going to be doing a series on tech and the matrix because that is kind of that is sort of the recently the theme, right? But this last one, I just now started writing blogs again for the first time in many months, and I did drop this one to celebrate the fourth Matrix movie that came out. I dropped it the night that it came out. So if you guys haven't checked that one out, that's a fun one. It's a shorter blog. My blogs, from now on are going to be, because I have so many things going on, they're not going to be quite as crazy and elaborate as the old ones, but they're still going to be good. And this was a fun one that I wrote about the metaverse and how it's the ultimate blue pill and how we're kind of watching essentially the beginning stages of the Matrix. It's like the Matrix beta test, basically. So yeah. Yeah. Mr. Rubinsky says, have you been keeping up with the dancing? I know you said you love to dance. Yes. Not all the time, but I try to, whenever there's good music, where there's dancing, I try to go. So yeah, I've definitely been doing some for sure. There's some like ecstatic dance that meets up that I used to go to once a week, and I haven't done that in a while, and I've been meaning to do that again soon. So that's definitely on my list. So thanks for the reminder, Rubinsky. Yes, dancing is one of the best forms of exercise because you don't really feel like you're exercising. It's not like being on a treadmill where you're like, all right, I just got to get done with this 30 minutes. Like, you just enjoy it. So any kind of exercise, like a sport or dancing or something that's fun like that, yeah, is I think the best. Also, dancing is a kind of expression, emotional freedom of expression. And that's just really healthy on a spiritual and psychological, mental level too. I think dancing really hits all of those different dimensions. Man, it's crazy how much, I don't know if it's because I'm a sun sign or what, but finally getting sun today, I feel like myself again. Literally just being in the sun for 40 minutes was like life-changing. And it's crazy because you can actually see our skin is so responsive. I'm looking at my skin right now. I can actually see a difference in my own skin just from less than 1 hour of sun. And I feel radically different. And it just is a reminder, to me and now to you guys that we are so, our bodies are so dependent on on nature and the rhythms and cycles of nature. We are so interdependent with nature, and we are so used to sunlight. Yeah, like, boy, I think we've, I always say this, but we've barely even scratched the surface of what the sun does for us. Vitamin D, everybody knows. A lot of people don't know also nitric oxide, which is one of the things that Action 2.0 works on. Nitric oxide, very important for circulation, but also for the immune system. And the sun does help with that. So the sun actually supports healthy blood pressure levels and healthy blood flow. But I'm sure it causes drastic changes in probably a huge portion of the genome. I feel personally like it probably has huge effects on dopamine because I just feel more focused, more alive. Going out and chilling by the pool earlier was almost like doing a drug. I felt so much different afterwards. And I was just like, wow, especially when you've been away from it for a little while, like you just feel like a different person. It's amazing. Yeah. Maybe it's that in the carrot juice. I don't know, but I seriously feel like I'm high on the sun right now. It's awesome. I look orange. That's funny. Yeah. And part of it is, by the way, the lighting. I have the temperature of the color temperature of this lighting is variable. It's a programmable LED light. And I like warmer tones. I don't like the really fake white with too much blue. Plus right now, since the sun is down, we don't really want a lot of blue light. But I'll show you guys just for the heck of it. Look at the difference right here in wavelengths. Check this out. Look how much worse this is. See, look how bad this looks. Well, it's not that bad, but it does look weird, especially on the background here. I'll take all the warm tones out. So now this is basically just the cool tones only. Very, very different, and does not look as good to me anyway. And yeah, so the frequencies that we have coming into our eyes and on our skin do have, of course, a profound impact on us. As you guys know from all the times that I've worn these and talked about these things, right? And yeah, these are great, by the way. I do need to use them more often. Won't use them right now, but yeah. Also, by the way, just so y'all know, getting natural light exposure during the day does support healthy melatonin synthesis later at night. So that is also a factor. So it's not just about not getting too much light in through your eyes at night. It's also about getting natural light in during the day. Sunlight, in through the eyes earlier in the day, ideally. Yeah. All right, let's see what else we got. Thoughts on maca? Yeah, maca is awesome. Maca is fantastic. Highly recommended. Well, okay. I don't want to say anything bad about maca. What I will say is that it can be a little bit intense. And if it were between, I have a preference for Tomcat over maca personally. If you're going to use something, it was like a yang tonic kidney chi booster adaptogen. I think I have a preference for Tomcat. Doesn't mean that maca is bad. Maca is lots of fun too, and it tastes good, especially if you get the gelatinized maca. It's pretty awesome. But it's not the gentlest herb, and so yeah, perhaps not for everyone. Some people it makes them a little crazy. All right. Yeah, and Andy's talking about sunglasses and telling the sun is bad for us. And yeah, it's true. Now, of course, it is a fact that the sun can be harmful in large amounts, especially if you don't have enough antioxidants in your diet, and you're not electrically grounded, and there's other factors there too. So it's not that the sun can do no harm. That would be an extreme example that doesn't agree with the science. But overall, Andy, I agree with you. We have been taught to fear the sun way too much. Sunglasses, obviously, there are times to wear sunglasses. It's not that we should never wear them, but a lot of the time I prefer not to. If your eyes are, some days my eyes feel kind of sensitive and I feel like I want to wear them. There are just some days when the light just feels like too much. But in general, it's good to get natural light in through your eyes. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So these glasses, CHOQ Gamer, the website for these are not sunglasses though. These are blue blocking glasses. So these are ones that you wear to basically just, block blue light frequencies while you're inside from artificial light. And these are called Swannies. See if I don't know if autofocus is going to work or not, but anyway, SWANWICK. It looks like Swanwick. It's pronounced Swanick, but it's spelled Swanwick. SWANWICK. Yeah. And I looked around and I did find a coupon code. So, all right. Well, I think we're about to finish up here. We only got 8 people watching right now. And I think I'm going to head out in a second. So let's do our second prize giveaway. The timer has begun. You have 58 seconds to get your second double-digit number in. Well, it doesn't have to be double digits, but it has to be between 1 and 100. Turn this light down just a little bit so it's not too much here. Getting to be a bit much. So everybody get your number in. Good luck to everyone. All right. What is our randomly generated number going to be today? Who's feeling lucky? Mm-hmm. 12 seconds left, guys. So make sure to get your number in as soon as possible. Okay, and we are done. All right. The number actually was 3. So that means that it looks like Andreas is the only single digit that I'm seeing. So Andreas, I believe you are the winner. Congratulations, Andreas. You also won 2 of any CHOQ products plus 1 bag of cacao beans. So excellent work. Number 2, Andreas was the winner. Same prize. Okay, congratulations, Andreas. Very cool, very cool. I will see you guys soon. I'll probably be back on Tuesday, most likely. And then in the very near future, sometime in the next week or 2, be on the lookout also for us to be all over Instagram. And of course, remember a week from today, we've got Stay Human episode 2. So that one's going to be awesome. And we'll be doing that live with questions and answers, and make sure to, get notified so that YouTube will let you know when that's happening, give you a little reminder there. All right. Love you guys. See y'all very soon. And I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Don't forget to stay human. Much love.